Hello, my fellow Americans. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. I was talking to one of my friends who's in Tucson, Arizona. They had a gun show this past weekend, January the 4th and the 5th. I think maybe the 3rd, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Traffic was backed up for a mile from the entrance of the gun show. People stood in a line over a quarter of a mile long to get into the gun show. What's that tell you? What it tells me is people want to bear arms. People want to make sure that they have arms to bear. Because our government has decided to attack the Second Amendment. And it's funny because they have Secret Service protection. These guys have guns. I still want to know what part of shall not be infringed they don't seem to understand. It just doesn't make any sense at all. They took an oath of office to uphold the Constitution, to defend it against enemies, both foreign and domestic. And somehow they seem to think that disarming we the people is upholding the Constitution. I don't get it. It's bizarre logic. I was talking to another friend on the phone, and he said there was a woman, I think in Georgia, heard some noise and looked outside and see this guy trying to break in the house, so she phoned her husband. He said, "Honey, get the gun. Take the kids upstairs, get in the crawl space." So she followed his instructions. Meanwhile, he dialed 911. Well, before they got there, 10 minutes later, the guy broke into the house, I guess went through their stuff, and then was coming up into the crawl space. So the woman fired 6 times. Hit him 5 out of 6 times. Good shooting, lady. He staggers out of the house, wounded, gets into a car, crashes it about 2 blocks or so down the road, and gets apprehended. Well, what have happened, or what could have happened to that woman and her children had she not had a gun? We all know what the answer is, the possibilities. But somehow they want to disarm we the people. It's gonna get ugly. I just don't see any way around it. But I'm starting to have faith that if people are going to the gun shows and buying up guns and ammo, that just maybe there's enough of us out there that we might be able to fight these guys off. The only problem is, you see, Congress and the President, they're not going to be the ones coming up the driveway to try and take my guns. No, they'll send somebody else to do their bidding. Possibly even foreign troops. How do you feel about that? If you've been watching my videos, I think I know the answer. Also, I got notice that Cheaper Than Dirt has decided to start selling again. I think a lot of people thought that cheaper than dirt were becoming cowards by closing up shop for a couple of weeks there. Actually, I think it was a smart marketing move because prices go up. They get to keep their inventory. Because had they sold out at the lower prices, that's money lost. So it could have been a smart move on their part. Bad for the consumer, but smart for them. I was at the Walmart this week. I looked in that locked case where they keep the ammo. Some of those shelves were pretty bare for the handgun loads. I peeked in the Big Five sporting goods. Same thing. Buy Mart, same thing. In fact, here, you can't buy any AR-15 mags around here. They're been sold out. Yeah, it's gonna get, it could get really ugly. Could be some bloodshed. But if that's what it takes, if our elected officials think that's a good thing, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I was looking at Facebook the other day, and I saw a good one. It said something to the effect that, you know, there's already been a movie made about when only the police and the government has guns and the citizens don't. The name of the movie? Schindler's List. Wake up, America. Smell the tyranny.